come on the stage, but tonig's a special night, isn't it, Richard?
It's a very special night, everybody. What is tonight? Braves won. Yes, Braves won.
Braves won. Welcome to ATL Startup Village.
Woo! Okay, no. We cannot have that type of energy in this room. All right, let's do that again, Christian. I think we should turn around.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome to ATL Startup Village.
Whoa, there we go, everybody.
There we go.
That's what I love.
This feels good. This feels good. And this is the energy we want because there are 5 companies here on this pitch off. For the past year, companies have been coming, pitching to the audience, pitching to judges, and each one here was selected as the winner of that specific evening.
Round of applause, everybody, for these amazing founders, please.
So this evening, what's going to happen?
That's a great question. Well, my name is Richard. I'm going to sing for you all today. When the night has come.
Oh, well, this...
And the land of founders won. No, what's going to happen tonight is 5 of these amazing founders going to go head-to-head for the ultimate pitch showdown, everybody.
And guess what? Prizes are worth $13,000. I know.
I could pay my mortgage with that.
I feel you on that one. So that includes a 1-year membership right here to Atlanta Tech Village. Who has been here before? Raise your hand. Okay, so a lot of people haven't.
Wow.
And if you're new, raise your hand if you haven't been here. All right, welcome. So just to give you a little history so you can understand just why we said we need your energy with this, right here is Atlanta Tech Village that you are sitting in and standing in. It is the 4th largest tech hub in the United States. And when it started some 10, 11...
When I was a young man back in the day.
Yeah, when he was whatever. About 11-ish years ago, this literally was the room where the tech ecosystem was really starting to boom. And so when you see on here ATL Startup Village number 97, there's been 96 of these with companies pitching. That is massive. So we are so excited here to have these companies pitch, tell you what they're doing, but you actually have a job. We're going to introduce you to our amazing judges.
Yes.
But you have a job here tonight. When you hear their companies, I want afterwards you to text someone. I want you to share it on social. I want you to be their megaphone for their business. You're going to know someone who can help them or be a customer or provide insights. So that's on you. Who's taking the charge? Let me hear you. Who's going to say? All right.
That's what I love to hear, everybody.
All right. Well, I can't do the stage anymore. That's not usually where I'm at. So I'm just going to jump one down.
I'll stay up here so you all can watch me as she talks. Hello, everyone.
So we told you what they win, and now we have to introduce you to our judges. So the judges are 4 judges right here. Be listening to the pitches. They're going to go back to that room in the back. We're going to hear a little Jeopardy music. They're going to come back, and they're going to give us our winner for the evening. So our first judge, you actually met. Remember, she gave you the beer. Eileen. Eileen from Endeavor, Atlanta. Let's give it up. And I know I shared her bio before, but I want to say it again because of the fact you guys were drinking beer, you were talking, like let's be serious here. So she's the managing director of Endeavor Atlanta, and co-founder of the Lola, an inclusive community and workspace for women to connect and collaborate. From launching diversity initiatives at Venture for America to advising female entrepreneurs, she's dedicated to creating spaces where women and startups thrive. Here. Thanks for judging, Eileen.
Round of applause for Eileen, everybody. We have some amazing judges. And next we have Allison Eman. She is the CEO of Venture Atlanta. Round of applause for Venture Atlanta, everybody. And a senior leader in sales, marketing, and business development with over 30 years of experience. She's known for execution of skills, fundraising expertise, and building platforms that connect innovators and investors. Give a round of applause, everybody.
And Venture Atlanta is next week. If you've never been, make sure to go to the website, check it out. There may still be some tickets left. There's a few left. But it is the place to be right now in October. There will be so many investors and other startups from across the Southeast and beyond.
Did you hear that? Close to 500 investors signed up. Round of applause for Atlanta, everybody. Venture Atlanta. Thank you, Allison.
And next up, we have Mr. Landon Howe. He is a startup executive and Techstars mentor in residence with 15 years of experience leading growth and operations at venture-backed companies across the United States. He's helped 50 plus startups, are you ready for this? Secure $255 million in funding and guided hundreds more as an advisor and mentor. Y'all don't jump him after this, okay? Don't go jumping him. Let's give it up for Landon Howe.
Fun fact, Landon actually used to mentor me when I was 5 years old and actually gave me $20 million so that I could be here tonight with you all. Thank you, Landon, for raising me. Thank you so much.
I love it.
Last but not least, we have Moritz. Okay, everyone in this room, you heard from him already. Tell me one thing that you remember. So raise your hand. You already heard him talk. James, you're going to be pitching.
Yeah, you're pitching, dude.
All right. Sheila.
Oh.
Google Cloud, we should be using it. That's a good one. I love it. But based on who you are, thank you so much for being here. Because Moritz is a global tech executive and current global director of Google Cloud, leveraging over 15 years of experience in driving growth and innovation for AI-first companies while transforming complex business challenges into winning strategies and success. Give a round of applause, everyone, for the one and only Moritz, everybody!
And for the record, I love that. It's like very Beyonce, very Madonna, Moritz. That's it.
Thank you
Nothing
very
else. Well, we're so excited for all of you guys to get started. We have the first company that's
DJ comes to Atlanta Tech Village. Anyone?
Oh, that's
Okay.
good. That's
Oh,
good.
you saw
There's
my
a
joke. Okay, my dad jokes are done. Okay, there's a mic drop. Thank you very much. You get a prize.
Oh, that was it.
That was a joke. All right.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
all right. Well, we're gonna move this way,
I'm running away.
and we're so excited. Let's give it up for Big Hoops.
All right, hello, Atlanta Tech Village. How's everybody doing tonight? By raise of hands, does anybody like basketball? A fan, player, anybody? All right, that actually sticks with the statistics. I'm with Big Hoops. I'm a founder and the CEO. We have built a tech-enabled social basketball experience. So we'll go ahead and get started. Essentially, in the US, there's 150 million basketball fans and players combined. And basically, when they're done playing organized ball, they don't have much to do because you're not going to go jump in your driveway every 10 minutes and call your friends. You're not going to go to the YMCA and break your ankles. So we've designed Big Hoops. Big Hoops is a large robotic full format basketball experience, has 3D shots, front, back, left, right, and we have a patented variable hoop diameter. This allows us to create skills-based shots so that we can bring basketball into the social gaming realm rather than just being for experts. We wrap this all in a upscale wrapper, complete with food, beverage, and we also have other games. And all this together creates the hottest new name in entertainment dining, Big Hoops. Cool. All right, so what's the opportunity? The NBA is the most popular right now than it's ever been in history. Entertainment dining is growing at a 10% CAGR, and we've seen large valuations, tech-size valuations, being gained by entertainment companies which have patented tech on the back end on a major sport. All right, so what does our solution do? We have an AI-powered robotic moving basketball goal, so this is full size. It will take full impacts from shooting basketballs. It has variable height, variable hoop size, and also moves in 3D space. We've wrapped this in immersion technology, so we have screens behind it, screens on it. And it's all cloud deployed. So unlike other entertainment, we're not going to get stale. It's going to be updatable with new games and new levels and immersions that we're going to be able to deploy. All right, entertainment is the point. So there's enough training devices out there. So entertainment is the point. We have thousands of games played by paying customers here in Atlanta, and they all email us and tell us to hurry up and open the big store. We're going to have the hoops, sports bar, craft food and beverage, other games, and we're going to wrap this in an upscale wrapper so that you can have kids and birthday parties during the day, and then it's also entertainment and nightlife acceptable in the evenings. All right, it's also more than a restaurant. We really want to wrap our head around that basketball user. We have a reason to get in their pocket, send them stats, updates, badging. We can use this for sponsorship, advertising, in-store competitions, fan attractions, sell merchandise, and we also have leagues and betting on our roadmap. All right, what kind of traction do we have? We have thousands of paying players that are here in Atlanta. We have one granted patent. We have a couple that are in process. We've raised over $1.5 million. We have a ultra relevant VC. They're the VC behind Putt Shack, F1 Arcade, Flight Club, and Batbox. And they are looking for a co-lead. We've currently raised 41% of our raise to get our first corporate store open. We have the Menu, a restaurant operator, and we're under LOI at Atlantic Station, which is right down the street. Okay, the squad. From myself to my brother, who's the CTO, we've developed all this in-house with the help of some contract coders. So it's not an overseas project. We intimately own the design and the coding of the machine. We have real estate, executive advisors, sports liaisons, and restaurant management. All right, right now we're raising $2 million, and we are opening our first store over at Atlantic Station down the street. So Atlantic Station overlooks the green space. They have Bolero, they have Overtime Elite over there, lots of big name stores. Heinz, the real estate group, they've come and played. They really love it. They're meeting us halfway with a very generous TI package. And we expect to do $4 to $6 million at that location with about a 20-25% drop through at that particular location. All right, so what happens after we open that first corporate store? Right now we're getting a lot of inbound interest from franchising. We will spin up franchising. We will sell more machines to other entertainment groups, and we'll open more corporate stores. Big picture, classic sport, dominant social tech, thrilling destination, so that we can be together at last around basketball. Thank you.
Make sure this is on. Awesome. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Your users, going to be opening Q4?
What's that?
You said Q4 this year? You'll be open?
That's probably an outdated slide. It's probably slid to like Q1 of next
Yeah,
year.
so Q1, you'll be open. We'll be there, eating pizza, drinking beer, shooting hoops. Where are your users now? Two-part question, kind of the same. Where are your customers now? And why will they choose you in Q1?
So our customers are all around Atlanta. When we had I knew I would do that.
Was I not loud enough?
Oh, he's got a mic.
First time I would ever be accused of not being
Sorry.
loud enough.
Thank you, though. That was a preemptive repeat the question. I will do that. So where's our users now? So we had a spot over in West Midtown where we put it inside of a brewery. We did very limited marketing, just had like the Instagram experience people in there, and then it filled up. We just had one machine. And so we got up to $60 an hour, thousands of players, and people after people would come walking in, and we had to disappoint everybody because it would just book up. Because we truly saw that basketball users have been yearning for a social outlet, and this is the only one that meets them halfway. It lets their friends that aren't good and them that are good play together. And then right now we have a full website that's ready for multi-location selection. We have a huge mailing list of like 3,500 people that have either played or signed up through. We get franchising and email signups on the daily, even though we're not marketing anything.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So what made you come up with this? Were you a basketball player? Was that your thing?
Great question. I did 13 years in finance and management consulting, and I worked with Providence Equity for many years, and they were a minority stakeholder in Topgolf, and I got the bug there because they were a tiny stakeholder, but everyone talked about Topgolf. On a side note, we're more nimble on a real estate perspective than Topgolf. We can go into any, big box retail in cities, scale up or down the number of units. We don't need a big REIT to clear acres of ground to make it work.
It's a good segue into my next question around like long-term vision. You mentioned franchising and corporate. I guess, like, tell me the difference between those and the potential slice of revenue for each, and then the long-term plan.
Absolutely. So corporate stores obviously going to be the most capital intensive. We do have a really great opportunity in the changing retail landscape because they will court really new and compelling entertainment brands because it brings up their other retail. It's the most cash outlay for corporate stores, but obviously you operate it at the corporate level. All the EBITDA flows through. So your franchise store, you get your franchise fee, and then generally about a 7% royalty fee. But and then you get manufacturing revenue. So we'll manufacture the machines, sell them to the franchisee, and then that's more of an MRR situation. And then they'll also pay for like sales and marketing. You could put a small margin. You don't want to tax them to death on that one. And then we also are shipping 8 units by the end of the year to other entertainment providers, and we'll continue to do that on a select basis just to gain traction. And we'll weigh the corporate store versus franchise depending on how we're doing.
Thank you, judges. Now we have time for the audience to ask a question. Up.
Brooke? Hey, great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Big basketball fan myself.
Awesome.
Would love to come. Okay. What do I spend on an evening like this if I compare this to a night at golf, at Top Golf, or going to the theater?
Great question. So it's very comparable on just a walk-in basis. So a lot of these companies, they really make their bread and butter on companies and corporate events and birthday parties that want to have 2 side by side and they want to book 2 months in advance. That's where it really, you make a little bit higher dollar. Of course, you give them the priority, but super comparable to Top Golf. I wanted to get it cheaper, but again, real estate is real estate. Audience. Okay. You, sir. Great question. So the first one, oh man, got me. All right. Have we had any malfunctions with the hardware? What's the SLA if there's a hardware malfunction? So the first one, I actually welded most of the first one. My brother coded it completely. So we made the first one from scratch. And we learned very quickly we did not want to be making these machines from scratch. So we actually have a leading industrial automation company that makes car manufacturing parts that makes them. It's well over spec'd. So the actual automation of it is a very super low fail rate because we're actually over spec'd. A graphics card is the only thing that's been going out. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Big Hoops.
Thank you, Big Hoops.
Out here giving date night vibes. I like it. I like it.
If you're bad at free throws like me, just bring your appetite for food, everybody. Bring your appetite.
So we're hi, Blake. How you doing today?
Hello, Blake. So next we have our next presentator. Presentator. How do you say presentator?
Presenter.
There we go, presenter. This happens every time. Last time, I think I said something about, we're not going to get into that. Back to the interview. Enough about me. We have Jack Richardson with Callboard, everybody. But it's not going to be the presentator. It's going to be the presenter, everybody.
That's right. Let's give it up for Callboard.
Callboard, everybody. Thank you very much.
I'm going to take this kid back to school, guys. I'm going to take this kid back to school.
Testing 1. Okay. Hi. So Callboard. We're here to present Callboard. My name is Blake, and I actually am not staffed at Callboard or anything. I'm a user of Callboard, and I really, really appreciate this product. Jack is a friend of mine, full disclosure, but when he told me about this product, I started using it maybe a month ago, and I became a paid user recently just from the feature benefits it can have. Just an FYI, I might not be the target user, but it's impressed me so much that it's replaced some other things. But the way that we were going to do this is we actually wanted to show you why the software is so great. So what you see here.
Hi there, this is Jack. I'm available right now.
Now let's find out where Jack is right now. So what this is doing at this moment is it is sending a signal up, coming back down to Jack wherever he is, if he's at lunch, if he's doing, any kind of shopping. I was with him the other day, We were having lunch across the street, and sure enough, like, he gets a call, and it worked out really well. So now we're coming in here, allowed it. Hey, Jack, how's it going?
Hey, Blake, so great to see you. I'm glad that you knew where to find me.
So where are you at, Jack?
Oh, I'm really not too far away. I actually thought a better way to pitch the product this time round is actually just by using it. So here it is. Welcome to Coolbird, the only video call tool designed from the ground up for the unique needs of instant meetings. Imagine this. A lead visits your website or signs up for your product. They're excited, interested, and ready to engage. But there's a problem. If you don't respond fast enough, that excitement fades, and every minute matters. 78% of customers buy from the company that responds to their inquiry first. And after already spending a ton of money on marketing to get a prospect to go to your site, converting that person, and more importantly, activating them as a customer, is where companies fall short. At Coolbird, we're solving that problem and helping you unlock the customer lifetime value that you deserve. So how do we solve this? Well, we allow your team to connect with leads and customers seamlessly from your existing website or from your standalone Coolbird pages. Let's take a closer look at some of these offerings. So here is, it opens up. Here is Josh Champion's Coolbird page. He has his Coolbird account linked to his Google Calendar. And based on that, it's showing that he's available right now. And just as Blake did when he pressed Meet Now on my page, when you do that, it will notify him via Slack, SMS, and phone call to make sure he doesn't miss it. It also offers the option to meet later, opening up its integrated Calendly tool. We also have company pages, which are easily integrated onto any page of your website. The company-wide version notifies whoever on your team is available right now, again, based on Google Calendar availability. And you'll see here we have it integrated on our contact page. You can also easily include a button on your dashboard so that your software customers can really easily connect with you in those first few days after sign up. For sales teams, Coolbird really excels at the top of the book, creating a personal touch right when they're interested at its peak. Even if that first interaction is very brief and perhaps even with someone really junior on your team, it makes a powerful first impression and makes the prospect eager to have that coveted demo day booked in with you. They'll be singing praises about your company to their colleagues and about how that wow factor of that instant video call they just hopped on. This helps the prospect see your business in a positive light from the off. Further, our users have found an unexpected benefit. No-shows for future meetings fall off a cliff and are almost entirely eliminated. No matter how short that initial interaction, you've already built up some social debt, making people far less likely not to show up to a future meeting. On the customer success side, for SaaS, spending just a few minutes with a new user the first few days could be the difference between getting somebody sign up and getting someone actually become a fully activated, loyal customer, potentially unlocking thousands of customer lifetime value. Today, Coolbird has over 400 users, and they are across a wide range of industries. Outside of sales and customer success, we've seen interesting use cases like early stage founders setting up Google Ads campaigns to get some validation on whether anyone actually wants to use their product. And what better than getting that person face to face over a Coolbird. And that's that. I'm coming into the room now.
And now, just in time for the Q&A, please put your hands together for Jack Richardson.
Hi, I'm open to take questions. So right now, most of the information that I need to repeat the question. So the question was, do we provide information about who the person is that's calling, right? And information about who that might be. So right now, most of the information that is collected is largely location-based. So for instance, when someone calls from the Atlanta Tech Village, up on the screen comes Atlanta Tech Village, and that's where the call is coming in from. So we've got some quite good location data, and we've also got some pretty good data that can tell us potentially what company someone's calling from based on their IP address. Outside of that, we're working a little better to sort of be able to have questions, so sort of qualifying questions to make sure that it's not going to be a time waster. Yeah, so, and well, I will say, so we don't have a particular system to vet them right now, but we do offer some tools that make it really easy to integrate it within your, let's say, existing book a demo funnel. So let's say you already have 5 or 6 qualifying questions. You could say, okay, if that happens, then trigger the Callbird page.
Let's go to our judges first. One more time.
Jack, I lead a sales team. We got a lot of tools. We've got, I don't know, Calendly links. We've got HubSpot. We've got all these widgets. For you to win, what has to lose? Like what is going to be shed or used less to cause that revenue leader to think about prioritizing this as a tool?
So what I would say, first of all, for clarity's sake, you mentioned Calendly. So the Callbird page is essentially your Calendly and other tools on an instant video tool combined, right? So if you already use Calendly, you already use HubSpot meetings, you'll just add in your link into Callbird. And so that Callbird page then becomes your combined Meet Now and Meet Later place. In terms of where it fits into like the existing tools that you have, so it's an interesting one. I mean, I think tools like, we get a lot of pushback about like Intercom. People will say, oh, you know, we've already got Intercom. It's a really great sales tool. Our whole sales team is already on it. And it has a video call function in it. And what we'll say is that some of our clients have actually ended up removing, let's say, text-based chat tools because of a lot of frustration that now comes from a potential buyer who's sick and tired of not knowing whether the person at the other end is a real person or whether it's a bot, right? And so what I would say, we always value the human over anything else. So I'd say we can push aside some of the tools. I mean, certainly depending on obviously it's very vertical dependent, depending on whether you're willing to put in the time to actually be face-to-face with someone. But I think it's worth pushing out a few of those tools to have that like wow factor that people always get by having that face-to-face call, because it's just so different to what people tend to be used to these days.
Hey, Jack, how do you guys make money?
Sure. So I actually didn't bring up pricing. I should really bring it up. But right now, we charge for our basic plan, we are $19 per seat per month. And that offers you an individual page. It offers you all the notification types. Then at $29 a month, it includes the Google Calendar integration, so it makes sure that it only notifies team members when they're actually available. And then we have, some enterprise tiers slightly higher up with some of the functionality that I mentioned earlier of like being able to integrate it within any existing flows that you have. So, for example, might be for a solar panel company, they've spent a lot of time putting together their onboarding flow of like the questions that you need to ask, and then when that signal is reached, they connect with Callbird. And so they'd be on that much higher enterprise plan.
Timing, let's give it up for Callbird!
Jack Richardson with Callbird, everybody. Web Conversions has got a facelift, and it's yours, everybody. And mine. All of ours together.
I just want to say I can finally breathe because this was a live demo, so that was great. So next up, actually before we say next up, who here loves movies? Right? Me too. What movie did you just see? Shout it out. I love how you're looking at me so intently. He's like,
I saw
okay, little sci-fi action, all right.
I saw 20 hands, but no one said anything. I guess no one likes movies. I love them. Transformers, everyone. Transformers. Shia LaBeouf. Transformers. No? Okay.
Well, now that you're in the movie framework. So excited to introduce the Cibola Story Studio. Let's give it up.
Round of applause, everybody.
Hi. Okay, so storytelling is fundamental to being human. Literally, our brains are wired for it. Stories are how we relate to the world around us and relate to each other. That's why I truly believe that TV and film have the power to shape culture at large. So obviously, I was like, I need in on this, baby. So I invested a lot of time and a lot of money on screenwriting courses and a master's degree. I really dug into the work and I put myself out there as a writer. So when I finally got the chance to sit down with someone in the industry who was interested in my work, I was so excited to share this script I had been working so passionately on, but he stopped me right away and immediately was like, no, thanks. Just send me a treatment. Now, my first thought, much like many of you, I'm sure, was, what's a treatment? I had just dedicated years of my life to learning the very specific craft of screenwriting, and I had never heard of a treatment before. And I'm not alone in this. It's insider information. So I'm gonna do you a favor and let you in on a little Hollywood secret. Nobody wants to read your screenplay. And I get it. Essentially, I was running around asking people to read over 100 pages, and that's a big ask. But a treatment, that's easy. A treatment is a pitch with a synopsis and everything you need to know about a story in just a few pages. Plus, here's the reality. Of the 50,000 scripts that are submitted each year, only 25 are ever actually sold. And that's before the Hollywood shutdown. And there are way more than 25 projects bought each year. So the rest of those are sold as a treatment. And it makes sense. With the treatment, investors can see very quickly whether or not a story is good. Plus, writers are literally leaving money on the table by not writing a treatment. And it's a lot of money, like $27,000 at a minimum. So being able to write a compelling treatment is crucial. Enter Cibola Story Studio. We help writers write better stories in a format that will actually be read, saving everyone a whole lot of time. Cibola Story Studio is a platform where writers can develop their ideas in treatment format, whether they realize it or not, because it seamlessly integrates with the writing process, keeping all of the strategic planning, all the notes, all the bits of inspiration that go into a story in one treatment dashboard. From there, you can collaborate, collect feedback, save drafts, everything that you need to really polish your idea. Plus, when you're ready to write your screenplay, you can very easily export your outline directly to Final Draft and start with the bones already there. You don't have to start from a blank page anymore. Really, I recently was able to start with 22 pages already written from my outline. And not only does that save me time, but I was able to look at it and feel like I could actually see the finish line. Like maybe, oh my God, I can actually do this, which is huge for a fragile little artist like myself. And we're already live. We have several highly influential users already on the platform. It's got a freemium subscription model. I personally use it every day. But this is just the first step of the greater vision. Right now, we're busy developing what is essentially Salesforce for production companies, with our treatment dashboard acting as a bridge for collaboration between writers and studio executives, with literally getting them on the same page. It's known as development hell for a reason, and that's because projects are stalled and dreams are scrapped every day, not because of the story, but simply because the process is so fragmented and broken. So we want to fix that. Now, there are competitors out there. Trust me, I've tried them. But we exist at a very specific nexus point between writers and producers, focusing on the crucial role a treatment plays in bringing everything to life. Plus, with my background in business and tech and my co-founders' deep-rooted relationships across TV and film, we feel uniquely poised to capitalize on this opportunity, especially as we come here to Atlanta at a time when more writers are getting paid than ever before. So that is my time. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Judges, what say you?
Just curious about the market size.
Well, right now, the screenwriting market is $265 million, but we're also looking at, that's if we were to just focus on the direct-to-consumer angle, but we're also looking at that production company side where right now, this is just from 2023, studios are investing billions of dollars on original content right now because the streaming wars have created this insatiable demand. So we're hoping to be able to really bring the revenue through the B2B side. Thank you.
Thank you for a great presentation. I love the deck, I love the energy, I love the talk track, very cool. How about the solution? Walk me through on actually how it works. What do you do when it comes down? How do you create a treatment? Is this people? And then connected to that, it's hard to compete against Post-it, as you said. But in case there is someone coming up with a, AI to automate screen script, how do you think about this going forward?
Okay, so part of why I built this is because inspiration can come in at any moment for an artist, right? And so we're constantly grabbing like, oh, let me jot this down, let me put it on a Post-it, let me do note cards. Oh, I heard from this writer, they do it this way, let me try it this way. And so what ends up happening, I've talked to so many writers and they're right there with me. You have your notes and ideas scattered across platforms. So the goal of this is to make it so that there's one location that you can always go to find your work. So it's kind of subtle the way that it builds out a treatment, and really it's just a way to collect thoughts in an organized way. You have character spaces, you have world spaces, you have story spaces, you have an outline space. So it kind of trains you to thinking about these things to begin with. And then from there, the automation is exporting in treatment format. Yeah, thank you. Did you want me to answer the second part? Was there a part about the AI? Okay.
Did I miss pricing? How much?
It is I can dive into it.
Okay.
It is a freemium model right now, so one idea is free, but we're really targeting people who juggle multiple projects, and so that seat for people, one person who has multiple projects, it's $15 a month, or no, it's $10 a month, and then for users who want to collaborate, like I have 2 different writing partners that I collaborate with, and we can work on our projects together. To unlock that feature, it's $15 a month.
I'm going to cheat. I'm going to ask a follow-up question. What's in it, like on the other side? If your solution gets their script picked up, what's that financially mean for them? How is their life better or different? Because it feels like an all or nothing. What is the all?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Nothing.
The goal is to get their script picked up, correct?
Yes. Well, the goal is to get people to write it, to share your idea. I'm a big person about, humans need to tell their stories. We love stories. We love diverse stories. So it helps people to get their story out there in a way where you don't have to show up to your first meeting and realize that they're asking for a format that you have no idea how to write.
But hopefully the goal is to get this sold, correct?
Yes, but we are not a marketplace.
Okay.
Yes, we are not.
Next question.
But on the production company side, so there is a direct to consumer, and it can be anyone. We're targeting like comedians who need to write a pilot, people who have a need to I have ideas, but now I have to figure out how to be in the industry because I have a manager. But on the production company side, that is going to be a treatment platform that's in the language of, for example, Warner Brothers has a very specific treatment format versus, well, now HBO Max is Warner Brothers, but you get the idea. Each network has their own treatment format and pitch format that they like to follow. And so that is where we would get to work with the production company and kind of hopefully create the industry standard. Thank you.
We have time for one audience question.
Yes. Well, actually, this is, so he's asking if you can just upload the script and output a treatment. And actually, this is for writers who like to develop their stories before they write the script. And so it's just about where you can organize all of your thoughts. We are specifically targeting writers who love to write, who are already in the industry or on their way to being in the industry, and they need a resource to help them. They got the creative down, but they need help maybe being a little bit more organized.
Let's give it up for
Awesome.
Cibola Story Studio.
Thank you, Rihanna.
Do you guys see why this is the best of the best that's hitting the stage tonight? Like, I just learned a lot right there. I was like, oh, I had no idea. Especially too when we think about the film industry for Georgia is a $5 billion economic engine.
Yes, it is.
So very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. And, you know, what's today? Q4 is tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry. That realization literally just, I was like, oh, what's today? Tomorrow's October 1st. Who has a Q4 goal you want to throw out real quick? What's your Q4 goal? Go ahead. All right. Test a consumer idea. We'll hold you accountable. We'll look for you. Sorry. Let's give it up. We have got, speaking of looking for things, Quest Read. That was the perfect layup. You're not wired? You're not? Oh, I'm
All right. While we wait a second, Chris.
Well, I'll still hold you accountable.
I see someone back there. I'm going to call you out. Chris, what's your Q4 goals? You want 10 teams? Wow. That's exciting. Come on, Q4. Anyone have the Q4 goals?
Hold on, what do you do that you would have 10 college teams? Oh, that makes sense.
And what is it called?
That makes sense.
Lean Lab Analytics.
All right. Well, we're back to our quest. I'm going to moonwalk this out. Quest Read!
Give it up for Janessa, everybody.
Hi. My name's Janessa Farrell, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Quest Read. And for the past 20 years, I've been helping children learn to read as a mom, a teacher, and a reading specialist. And I left the classroom because I wanted to build a tool that would increase the amount of time that children spend reading. Because we have a big problem on our hands. 33% of third graders can't read. And what do parents do when their child can't read? Well, 30% of them will hire a tutor, because one-on-one reading tutoring is still the most effective intervention. So to have the greatest impact, we're modernizing the tutoring industry to make them even more successful. Tutors are awesome, sure, but they only get to see their students once or maybe twice a week. Research shows that students need to be reading 20 minutes a day to make progress. So how can these tutors support their students in between sessions when they're not with them? And how can they continue to track their progress to support them? Well, that's where Quest Read comes in. We empower tutors by supplementing their sessions with daily reading practice. We supercharge that time in between their sessions with a fun and engaging reading game. As the child reads, we're listening to assess their skills, and then we create personalized reading reports that we share with their parents and tutors. Our mobile reading game helps every child learn through an adventure and provides unlimited access to books. Children compete against one another for badges and prizes in the mail. The app is designed to be accessible for all children, and screen reading is especially helpful for children who struggle with reading. Of course, we're leveraging AI to boost our efficiency. The books are all personalized, inclusive, and affordable. We're very excited that Quest Read's earliest users have validated that the app effectively boosts fluency up to a full grade level in only 2 months. Now, our competitors, they're either a frivolous game with minimal reading activity, or they're an anxiety-inducing testing app. There's no need to compromise in education. We're both fun and effective, and were uniquely designed to complement tutoring. So we're starting with US-based tutoring companies that serve K-5 students. After that, we'll expand to reach all English learners globally. This industry is growing rapidly due to declining literacy rates and an increased demand for English language learning around the world. So here's how it works. We sell licenses to the owners of tutoring companies, which they then resell to their clients as part of a premium plan. We are able to keep our costs for acquisition really low because of this, but more importantly, reach students who have the deepest need. So we introduced our beta app to over 200 families. We listened to their feedback, we iterated the product to improve the game and the reports. We started selling B2B this fall, and we're on track to hit 100,000 MRR by the end of 2025. This industry is unsophisticated, but it's eager for innovation. We're positioning ourselves as a thought leader in the space, and we're gaining strong traction there. Last month, we closed our first big deals. We have 40,000 more coming up next. This is our founding team. We've worked together for several years, and we've been in this industry for decades. We've created another product for the same user before. As experienced educators and ed tech innovators, we are uniquely qualified to serve this market. So due to recent traction, we are raising $750K. With that, we'll ramp up our sales initiatives. We'll add the Android app, and we'll automate our processes with speech processing. If you'd like to partner with us, I'd love to talk to you afterwards, or if you have to run out, grab my card on the way out. Our goal is to be one of the most effective and popular reading games in the world, starting with children and then expanding to adults, because we're making reading fun again. Thank you.
This is great because it's top of mind. No, it's top of mind for him as well. We have young kids. How do you balance, though, the desire to help kids learn with the battle that parents have with screen time? So you're handing the kid the iPad that you've told him not to pick up so much, and then asking him to do reading.
Yeah, I can speak to this as well. I have 3 kids of my own. It's a huge battle to balance screen time. The research is very clear, though, that reading on a screen improves your fluency and your comprehension. Along with that, if you are a struggling reader, you're 4 times more likely to be motivated to read if it's on a device. So we're really leaning into the research around motivation. Personally, I get them to read on the app first and then let them do the other screen time, so it becomes a motivator in that way.
What's the current age or grade range? I know you mentioned, expanding to adults later on, and then my second question was, what are the stories that are on the app?
Yeah, great question. So first, the ages right now are pre-K through 5th grade. After that, we're adding middle school, high school. We're going to kind of work our way up. The book content is really exciting because the stories are all created by us. That gives us the flexibility because we own the content. We can translate it to different languages. We can personalize it to meet the needs of the students. And we create that with AI plus human. We've created our own way to build the books.
Great product, great topic. Thank you for showing up. I was wondering, based on my own experience, schools these days have a pretty strict or organized plan of learning. And when you interact with tutors who are outside from the school, is there a possibility maybe along the way to integrate your apps and your games also into school programs and the learning journey of our kids?
Of course, yeah. I've been an elementary teacher for years too, so getting it into the schools is great. So there are many tutors who work inside the schools. They work with special needs students or with remedial readers. That's what I did. They also work after school. So there is definitely a play to be getting into the schools a little bit later too. Okay, back there. Yeah, thank you. So the question was, how can this app help adults who also have disabilities, and how do we help dyslexic folks? So there are many dyslexic children who use the app. 1 in 5 children is dyslexic, and in our first pilot, when we introduced it, 60% of the students who signed up were dyslexia. A lot of the accessibility features I showed there, like that helps a lot. We have special fonts and type font that makes digital text much easier to learn with than others. And our plan for adults, 21% of adults are illiterate. So we see the need there too, and we can easily adapt our content and the product to appeal to them. So we can write books that are high level content, but then at a lower level. And that's one of the beauties of AI now too. Yes. Yeah, so the question is, do we have plans to make it more accessible? Yes, we do. We have several options. It's $9.99 on the App Store right now if you want to download it, QuestRead. We also have partnerships with nonprofits. So we just partnered with Scout Reach through the Boy Scouts, and we'll be offering it to thousands of Atlanta underserved community children. Here, we're starting in January. Yes, in the back. I listened to them. The question was, how do you measure the students' progress? We listen to the students' reading, so as they read books out loud, we're able to get specialists in to listen to snippets of their reading and then assess that. Part of our RAISE, the purpose is to automate that process so we can learn what the specialists are doing and then make that reporting more seamless.
Let's give it up for QuestRead.
Awesome, awesome. Get it up for Janessa with QuestRead, everybody. I have a text for you. Is it mine eyes or Valentine's praise? Her true perfection or my false transgression that makes me reason less to reason thus. That's William Shakespeare, everybody.
I was about to say, ladies and gentlemen,
thank you very much.
he's a
William
thespian.
Shakespeare. Not at all. I learned this new word called presenter today. Thank you very much for your help and needs.
Well, we're excited. This is our last pitch of the evening right here before our judges go back. We have Total Wellness Innovation. Oh, that's you. Let's give it up.
We're not ready yet. We're still setting up.
They're not ready
Oh,
yet.
they're not ready. That means more text from Richard, everybody.
You were looking at me in my eyes.
You looked at me.
How's everyone feeling? We're feeling good? All right, that's what I love to hear. Some nice energy that's happening. I'm going to get off the stage now as they're getting ready.
I'm just going to
All right, give it up for Total Wellness Innovations, everybody.
sit on it down. There we go.
You have stage 4 melanoma. That is what I heard, but not all my doctors said. He probably told me more about the diagnosis and the next steps. I didn't hear him, though. Luckily, I am 7 years in remission. Thank you. All right, it's time, though. Yeah. The process was hard and scary. There were things I should have done and didn't. There were things my doctor told me to do, and I missed. I needed something to help me take ownership of my healthcare journey. Something to let me know what to do and to let my doctor know what I was actually doing. Nothing like that existed. That is what we are creating. Welcome to Whole You.
Before we go into the demo, let's actually talk about the underlying technology that powers our applications, one being our Whole You application for patients, and the other being our provider portal for care teams. When James logs into his electronic medical record, we're going to send the data from it to our clinical translator, which uses the latest in artificial intelligence and text analytics to convert the unstructured data, so the visit summaries and clinical notes, into structured data and pair that with the structured data that's already in the clinical translator. That will create a partial patient profile. Not everything is in your electronic medical record to create a complete profile. Things like your exercise regimen, your nutritional needs, substance use, whatever, right? So our medical library contains the latest clinical trials, research, and guidelines from healthcare organizations like the NIH and the American Cancer Society, and we can apply those to James's profile to complete it. Those go to our patient tracker, and now whenever data comes into our application, James's profile has rules and will run those rules. Those can be forward-looking rules. So he can say if I'm going to eat this, or if I'm going to smoke a cigarette, or I'm going to do this exercise, it can tell him how that affects his patient profile. Now, all of that comes together in Microsoft's cloud. We're a part of the Microsoft for AI startup and a program, and that gives us access to the latest in AI technology, while also giving us a HIPAA-compliant environment to host our services. All of this comes together to create a patient profile for James that gives him actionable next steps for his care. Let's take a look at it in the app.
Okay, so we're going to bring up the app right now. And so we integrate with Epic. And so here's the app. There it is. There it is. Okay, so we're logging in. The home screen, the first screen you're going to see is everything I need. It is a snapshot of my health. It's my upcoming appointments. It is medications, referrals I need to do. And it is right there. Okay, so then we go to the Journey tab. The Journey tab is tracks everything. Tracks my health data, tracks my appointments, tracks my medications. It even gives me small wins, which honestly would have been nice when I needed a little motivation or a push. The best thing about this is all of this is tailored to my specific needs and diagnosis. It's not just generic medical data. So let's take the nutrition. I can track my food. I can track, it gives me suggestions, restaurant recommendations. It'll even give me recipes. And all this is tailored to me to help me stay on top of my health and my nutrition. The Assistant tab, you can kind of think like a health coach. It offers daily focuses, recaps of stuff I've done, and it even gives me personalized suggestions to help me meet my goal. All of this, it's great because everything I'm doing, everything I'm tracking is shared with my doctor through the provider's portal. So they can stay on top of my health and adjust it as needed. It's like having them with me between appointments.
It's James's doctor. I'm definitely worried about his health, but I'm also worried he's not processing the information I need him to do. I wish I had the time to call him during the day, but I frankly don't. Thankfully, the Whole You app saves me, but more importantly, my medical team time, which allows us to provide better and more personalized care for James. Normally, we would be relying on unanswered texts, calls, and voicemails to check in on James and his progress. But instead, with the app, we can seamlessly follow along as he tries to make his specialist appointments, pick up his medications, and get his imaging and labs done. If he hits roadblocks, we'll instantly know and be able to provide him timely and effective solutions to the issues he's having. And while we can do deep dives like this for any of our patients, I like to take a step back and look at how we are treating our patients as a whole. We can look at patients that are struggling, those that are striving, and how well we're delivering care both in clinic and outside of clinic. We can answer questions like, are we communicating our needs to our patients well? Are we sending them to the right specialist or imaging centers? And with that, we can help navigate a complex health system for our patient and provide more patient-centered care.
So this can clear up all the complexity when it comes to healthcare. I get yeah, wrapping it up. That's 1 second. So we created a team that's great with a bunch of avenues of experience. And honestly, I wish I had this app with my stuff, but it's been my pleasure to introduce you to Whole You. Any questions?
Is this one on? Okay. So as someone who had melanoma 15 years ago, I wish they would have had any of that because obviously didn't have anything. But as like the doctor, I mean, do you all really have time to look at that app? I mean, or is the patient just kind of putting that all in, thinking their doctor is following along? I feel like is the doctor really going to follow along with that?
So that's a great question. The time is very essential in healthcare. And I'll say that I've worked with different value-based companies, different academic institutions. We have multiple windows open at any given time looking at health data. What's the most frustrating is trying to figure out who has the right information about our patients. Someone might be sick, someone might have changed, especially now after COVID, the turnover between staff is extremely high anywhere, and this helps centralize that data. And so you're not looking and trying to search through messages in EMRs about who documented what when, but rather have like real-time data that you can look at besides your clinical notes.
One more question, I'm sorry. Are you selling to the patient or to the doctors or to both?
Our go-to-market is active users for the provider portal access. So certain EMRs free to the user in certain regions, and then the $15 a month per active user to the provider to access to the provider portal.
It requires buy-in from different devices, different offices, most of which are not connected. So it requires a lot of buy-in. What have you found from an adoption standpoint? Because once you have that, it's awesome. You're locked in. What friction have you experienced in getting those disjointed pieces together and aligned, HIPAA compliant?
For all the different pieces, it's actually less, so it was really complex in the beginning before we had something that was sort of defined to plug all these things together. As far as plugging these things together, that's not really our hard part right now. The hard part is getting so we're integrated with Epic, but we don't have the contract in place, and you got to jump through so many hoops with each individual EMR and the HIPAA compliance. The HIPAA compliance isn't even difficult from a platform standpoint. It's more difficult from an operational standpoint. And I don't even know where I'm going with this because you asked, how are we doing that? We're doing it by having bags under our eyes and just constantly working at it until we solve each individual problem to move the product forward.
Is this meant to replace like the patient portals that we have today? And then I'm curious, to adding on to your question, like the sales cycle for this, because I had a doctor who I think this crashed and it took him like over a year to adopt a new one. So just curious about that.
We don't want to try to replace the actual medical record system, mainly because we have to play nice. We want to be an addition to it so that they don't block our access, because if we start trying to replace them, we're getting to a situation where they probably won't want us having access to the system. So we don't want to be the EMR because we really can't exist if we try to be the EMR. What we want to be is a extension or plugin or however you want to think of it for all of the EMRs, because they're all FHIR compliant, and that's what we're using behind the scenes in our app. And so we use that compatibility to quickly onboard new EMRs. Does that answer your question?
I'm just curious, how long does the sales cycle usually typically take place when you're selling to these doctor offices?
We'll let you know. So the question is basically, why would the user want to keep updating and putting in the information? I guess our basis or our theory behind that is if you're a cancer patient, you really want to get through your treatment as best as you can. And any tool that you have that can help you, you'll use.
Right.
Thank you, everyone.
And I just want to say for the record, EMR, electronic medical record. Just putting it out there for my creatives,
Right. So before the judges go back to deliberate, Christian has some really exciting news for the audience and presenters.
So, not only does the winner, of course, take home their 1 year, and I didn't even tell you with parking. We know how parking's gotten in Atlanta. They've lost their minds in this place. But it's free parking. But also, too, a full access pass to Venture Atlanta next week.
Woo! Give a round of applause.
And who's giving that? Who's giving that to them?
Steve Boyer with Blue Penguin Payments.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Can we get some more round of applause for Venture Atlanta, everybody? Woo! Come on, it's Atlanta.
All right, so we're going to send our judges back. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. They will be back very shortly.
And while they're back there deliberating, I'm gonna start doing some show tunes for you all.
I'm sorry. Oh, there's more beer, y'all. Just
Okay,
FYI.
no show tunes from Richard. More beer, everyone. Take a relaxing break and enjoy some beer, everyone.
At least quietly stand in the back. That's also fine. You don't have to get all the way back to the seat.
your seats. Come on back to your seats.
The judges have made their decision. And by the way, afterwards, if everybody who pitched tonight could gather on the stage for a photo before you leave, please do not abandon us. Great. Ooh, got nice and quiet. All right, Christian, over to you.
All right. Well, we are so excited. We just want to give you the rundown of companies one more time. We had Big Hoops. We had Callbird. Cibola Story Studio. Quest Read.
Yeah.
And Total Wellness Innovations. Judges, what do you say? Who's the winner this evening?
The winner, Quest Read.
So, congratulations to Quest Read. Not only do you get 1-year membership at Atlanta Tech Village parking, hello, and a full access pass to Venture Atlanta, we also have one more surprise for whoever came in second in your decision. They get also a full access pass to Venture Atlanta next week.
Exciting.
Coming in second was Big Hoops.
Big Hoops. Woo!
Big Hoops.
Congratulations to everyone who hit the stage today. Thank you for coming out. It takes such courage to come on the stage, to be an entrepreneur, to share your vision, to have other people critique and see it. So please, again, make sure you are the megaphone for these brands.
Yes.
Follow them. Follow Atlanta Startup Village, ATL Startup Village online. Follow Atlanta Tech Village so you can find all the companies and share the post. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, and we'll see you December 9th.
Thank you, everybody.
Woo!